What's going on, everyone? This is Smitty here, and in this video, I'm gonna try and be brief, but I just want to express a few thoughts. I spoke mainly about this on Sim Standard Radio. Sim uploaded that episode on his channel. I'll link it in the description as well, because basically my opening monologue that I gave, was the gist of how I feel about what's going on. But I mean, I just want to, just talk a little bit on my own channel here as well about it here. You know, we as a people need to protect and preserve and grow our legacy in the right way, and in a much more respectful way. You know, people getting shot by officers and everything. Yes, it's messed up. It's messed up. There's no ands. There's no high, low, or in between about it. But there's a few rotten apples in there that are ruining it for the entire bunch. It's like my wife and I have had interactions with the police, and it's been respectful. You know what I mean? Now, do we have to agree with everything that always happens? No. But nevertheless, we had respectful interactions every single time. And we were always cautious, and all we did, we did the best we could every time with handling those situations. But before we can, I'm like, the thing that really gets to me about all of it is that we're looking at the police, and now we're ready to get up and take action. But what about what happened in Chicago back in Memorial Day, or any other day for that matter? What about when all those people got shot over that weekend? That had nothing to do with cops. You got Spike Lee made a movie. I mean, I never watched it, but you have a movie called Chirac. I mean, they're basically, you're making that city out to be a war zone, which, I mean, from how you hear about it, it sounds like it is. But we can cut on the news and see shootings, rapings, stabbings, kidnappings, killings, all that. We can see that all day on the news in every city. If we're ready to, if I'm seeing people that are ready to jump up and get all up in arms and ready to, like you're up and you're enraged and you're ready to march out on something, well, we should have been equally ready to march out as soon as you hear all about all these killings in respective cities. It has nothing to do with a cop. It has everything to do with our neighbor, our peer, our minority, our own respective ethnicities out here shooting each other, killing each other, ending legacies prematurely. We're beating the cops to the we're beating the cops to the punch. We're making ourselves look worse. Make ourselves look bad. You know? It's bad enough when we see things go on in these neighborhoods. You got music artists that profit off of it. You see what I'm saying? And look, they profit off of talking about all that raunchiness and everything else that people still uphold at the concerts they attend of these artists that are showcasing that raunchiness. But are they raising their kids that same way? Are they saying, oh, they could dress however they want, act however they want, talk however they want, and all that stuff? Be disobedient, be ignorant, be all that stuff, just like they show in their music. No. Because if they do it, they're going to have to answer to their parents. Now, that to me is very contradictory, but that's the society that we live in. It's acceptable when it shouldn't be acceptable. It should never be acceptable for things to play out that way, but it does. If you want better for yourself in any situation, you have to be willing to take the road that may not be traveled by many. In a lot of these impoverished neighborhoods, and or it doesn't even have to be that neighborhood. It could just be in general. You have families, you have broken families, you have broken homes, broken families, you have one parent households and everything else. There needs that these situations is where people need to step up. And when I mean people, I'm not talking about a government official. I'm not talking about a mayor. I'm not talking about a city clerk. I'm not talking about a judge or anything like that, or a councilman or woman. I'm saying we need to do that. Our neighbors need to do that. People in your own neighborhood that know what's going on need to be doing that. Because you know what? I could pull up World Star and I could see all these videos, people pulling out their cell phones to record people getting beat up and all kinds of stuff, and all these raunchy and ignorant things that go on. People can whip out their phone and do all that. So why don't you whip out a phone and help somebody? Why don't you put the phone down and help some people? Why don't you intervene and not allow people to get into these fights? Do the best you can to change your surrounding. Your surrounding is not going to change by itself. You can't just put a hand out and say, "Oh, come on, help me out." Like, you have to look to the left and to the right of you and make change happen accordingly from that standpoint. It all starts, and the main thing I'm getting at is this: it starts from within. Yes, I would love to see a councilman or a woman change things, but we need to show and prove. You have your own neighbors. Listen, there are folk that wouldn't dare go to particular neighborhoods. They would rather drive and go out and around, out of the way, 15 to 20 minutes to get to their destination instead of taking 5 minutes driving straight through that area because of the reputation that is in that area. And you know who enhances those areas? Exactly. You got artists, you got music artists, movies, television shows, all that stuff that's portraying these areas and the people within them. Very uneducated, not intelligent, don't know how to dress, don't know how to act, don't know how to do anything. Well, if we're basically being labeled as clowns that can't do anything except shake butts, sell drugs, and shoot and kill and steal from each other, how do you think we're going to be viewed in the eyes of a civil servant, of a cop? How do you think we're going to be viewed by an employer? How do you think we're going to be viewed by just anybody walking up and down the street? They're going to look at you and cringe. It's a decision that has to be made. You have to make a decision. I'm going to change the way people decide to look at us. And don't get me wrong, there are people that come from impoverished neighborhoods and everything and become doctors and lawyers and engineers and everything else. They can't be the anomaly. We have to have a lot more of that. And the thing is, those things happen because you have people that look out for each other. You had Richard Sherman share stories about how, he wanted to be involved in that kind of activity that would get him in trouble. And you got the gang members and stuff like that telling him, no, them boys, they can't go over there. They can't be there. That kind of stuff, you need that for the whole neighborhood. Everybody has a legacy. Everybody has potential to be something. My wife and I have a legacy of our own to uphold, to build, to continuously build. My 8-month-old daughter has a legacy. God has a plan for her. And we're going to nurture her and build her up and teach her right and teach her wrong and teach her the way that God will want her to be, to live, regardless of what's going on in this world. That's what we are here to do. And that's what our neighbors need to do. We need to do our neighbors, our families, our friends. It needs to reflect across the board. That aura needs to be reflected everywhere we go. Everything that we do. Regardless of, yes, there's going to be racism. Yes, there's going to be discriminatory behavior. Yes, that's all. There's going to be two faces. There's going to be two facism basically going on out here. There's going to be contradictory. Everybody is not going to. It's not going to be 100%. 100% efficiency. But we need to make a dent in terms of how this behavior is being how we're being depicted out here, and how we conduct ourselves out here. We need to flip that negativity algorithm on its head. And we need to start turning some positives. We need to see some positive stuff on WorldStar, on Facebook, on Twitter, on all that. That's what needs to be glorified. We need to glorify that. Turn those things around. And it can be done. I'm never going to believe that it can't be. It can, but it comes from a concert effort. Okay? I'll end it with this point. You had the Cleveland Cavaliers celebrate a brand new legacy less than a month ago. They went from a town that lost when it came to sports. But then they win, and the whole city, they shut down the city. Over 1 million people downtown Cleveland. Now, I see celebrities and I see everybody, and I have the same exact belief. Life is extremely precious. It is one of the most blessed gifts that we have as people, and they're being taken away. And like I said, legacies being cut short purposely, being cut short in these abrupt fashions. What is going to be done? Every single city should be downtown in these kind of movements. Whether you do it downtown, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether it's for the city, whether it's for the county. In droves, filling streets, filling blocks, throwing block parties and barbecues and celebrating children and things like that. Celebrating, just it, like, we need to be uplifting and encouraging and in supporting each other. Somebody opens a business in a neighborhood, support that business. Don't steal from it and destroy it and take from it. Support it. When somebody's trying to come up and do good, support them. Build them up. We need to be building each other up and pushing each other upward. Not stepping on top of each other because, well, it ain't me, so I'm going to take it from them. No. That's one of the biggest problems we have. Until we change that, you're always going to see stuff like this. But it shouldn't take a police officer doing something when there's so many black on black, black and white, black, whatever color, yellow, green, whatever, all the entire spectrum of the rainbow out here doing wrong unto each other with no police being involved. Like I said, you see the raunchiness on WorldStar, you see the videos. It doesn't even have to do with a cop. Just regular everyday citizens out here doing wrong on each other, and people laugh at it for entertainment instead of shaking their head about it and saying things need to change, and people stepping in and intervening towards changing those situations. We got to get our stuff together. Seriously. Especially if we're talking about we want change on these levels and things should be better, and saying how you're sick of the world and everything. Okay, then do something about it. And that's what has to be done. We have to take the proper actions to do so. But like I said, it all starts in the soils. It all starts at home, and then you got to work outside from there. You got to work from the inside out. So I'll end the video here. I've been going on very long with this, and I apologize for that. But I'm just speaking from the heart here, okay? But I got nothing but love for all of you guys. Definitely post your comments, how you guys feel, or anything of that nature. And I'll be back with more videos, on the lighter side of things, talking about gaming and all that. But thanks a lot for people that do listen to this video. God bless each and every one of you. I don't care, naysayer, if you're a follower, naysayer, whatever. This is just some real talk here. I got nothing but love. I love you guys. God bless all of you guys, and please take care of yourselves and your loved ones accordingly. Okay? All right, y'all. Be easy. God bless. Peace.